Hey, look, and my point has been for months now, I don't want to be picking at 5. You know I don't love this draft, guys. So,
if you didn't get one of the top 3 picks,
you could move down. I've wanted to trade it for a player. For how long? I'd be shopping number 5 in Bogdanovich as hard as I could to try to bring in a player. Now, I'm not telling you to do what the Celtics did last night. I don't know if this Porzingis thing's going to work or not, and you're not in a position to really do it, are you? Probably not. Right? Celtics are going for a title. They have a very unique need. They think he fills it. We don't need to go there. I'm making a point. If Troy Weaver is Mr. Home Run, do you really believe you're hitting that home run at 5?
Unless all of a sudden he found a way to work out a deal to bring Zion here. That would probably be the best home run that he could do tonight.
I still believe he is getting traded.
Oh, I think so. Probably about an hour before the draft.
That'd be amazing. Have it happen in draft. I mean, I got to have something happen tonight. But let's go to people. Let's see where they're at, see what they have to say about it. Dorian's going to lead us off. What's up, Dorian?
Mike, I love you to death. Love you, Rico. Listen, why do you think a big splash matters at this point with this team? You just want good radio, and I get it.
No, that's not it, Dorian. Dorian, you signed a $100 million head coach. You haven't won more than 23 games in eons. And at a certain point, I don't want to hear about culture when losing is your culture. I've explained very clearly why we need a move. That doesn't mean you do something stupid, but Dorian, there needs to be an adult in the room. They're running a daycare center. You can't win that way.
Of course they are. So maybe his plan is to get rid of the number 5 or veteran. Other than a Zion, see, a big splash isn't necessary. If we could trade a 5 for a guy, hey, imagine if we traded him for Marcus Smart. How would you feel?
If you took 5 for Marcus Smart, no, it wouldn't make any sense. You've already got Ivy and Cade.
But Troy Weaver's already come out and said that he's swinging for the fences. So it's not us saying a big splash. This is your general manager.
Hey, maybe that might be something in that. Look, you still got Miles Bridges out here. You still got guys that are a little bit older, have some experience. Not necessarily, because think about it. You're getting rid of the oldest player on your team in a draft pick. And what are you going to gain out of that if that person, maybe you're Draymond. Maybe you got capital.
Now, hold on. Just so I'm clear, I just want to make sure we can really enjoy the circle of life here. You finish your call, Dorian, with Draymond. You yell at me because I wanted a big move. You accused me of only wanting it for radio purposes, but then you bring up the same very idea I brought up 2 days ago. Do you want to tell me how that works? Because I'm not very bright.
Well, I would say this much. If you draft, you take, look, I'm not enamored with no Cam Whitmore. Look, we just traded him away, remember, to the Hawks? That's basically Sadiq Bey.
Hard to do when you're at Villanova. Have a good day. We're not off to a good start. We're not off to good. Not a good start. We're turning back for an emergency landing. We're just going to turn this flight around and try again. Hard to trade Cam Whitmore when he was at Villanova last year. Let's go to Doug, 97.1. Hi, Doug.
What's going on, Mike?
What's up, man?
Mike, I think the issue with the NBA draft, it's hard to fix. I think the problem is no one recognizes these names. Like the Thompson twins, for instance, they're playing in the G League or overtime elite. No one has any idea what that is. If you could force these guys to play at least 2 years in college, watch them in the Big Ten or the Big East, whatever it might be, but at least they're household names by the time, the draft comes around. That's why the NFL is so special.
Yep. Doug, we know what we're getting. Mm-hmm. We have tape on these guys. These guys are ready to play, but it's no coincidence, Doug. They have to be 3 years out of high school to enter the NFL draft.
You've seen them play in the SEC or you've seen them play in the Big Ten and, in big games, okay, look at the game he had against this school, against Bama, against Georgia.
And look, like Doug, I don't want to go to the Wayback Machine, but think about the year that Darren Williams and Chris Paul both entered the NBA draft. I mean, you were drafting guys who were ready from day one to come in and be the floor general of your team. And I know people make fun of Darren Williams for the Brooklyn years. Darren Williams with the Jazz was a monster.
Yeah, was good.
Chris Paul,
absolutely
monster. you see a direct correlation between the fall off based on how the league has allowed this to erode.
Because the league now believes, well, you're robbing young players the right to make money.
Shut up. I'm so sick of it. Everybody's a victim.
And actually, it's not even the league. This is
Christ.
It's the player association. You would think that they would want to cap young players from coming in because it's taking their jobs. But instead, it's the players, not the NBA.
Well,
the NBA would love to have it at least 2 and done.
Absolutely. And the last thing I'll ask you guys is, do you think there should be an exception for guys like, Dwight Howard or Garnett or obviously LeBron?
No.
Where they came out of high school, they were ready to go.
No.
Is
Doug,
there a process where we can let those guys, skate through?
Doug, no. Here's why. Because every player is going to say, well, that's me. You're shortchanging me. So it's one of those, if you're a LeBron, if you're a Kevin Garnett, sorry, you got to go through the 3-year process. You got to do it just like everybody else, because once you make that exception, this is where we are right now, because everybody thinks they're the next great person.
Yeah, because we have a society now of enablers. We have a society of sycophants. All these kids are told they're so effing special. Newsflash, you're not. And if Tim Duncan ever comes along again, no, I disagree. You know what? We aren't all the same. Tim Duncan is better than you.
No, you're
Front
not.
of the line, Tim.
No, you're not, but it's just like in college football. There's guys who could probably play right now.
And I've said the same,
and they're
Rico.
Stuck.
No, I've said the same. There should be an exception. Jadeveon Clowney, there should have been an exception.
But once you make that
Trevor
exception,
Lawrence, it goes under a review board.
But it's hard. It's
you
hard.
Treat it like parole.
It's hard to quantify because now it's political. Who says that David was better than Kenny?
The board.
When they have the exact same numbers. It's like the Hall of Fame. It's like,
what if I put 5 Hall of Famers up there, like oracles, all in their yellow jackets? They make the decision. No. And the deciding vote, it's like dodgeball. It's Chuck Norris.
No,
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
Because then if you do that, then you have the college football playoff all over again. Yeah. You got the committee that just doesn't know what they're doing.
And guess what? Rico's the very one who sells me that's what's good for the sport. So he should love this.
It is.
Drama. And we'll televise it live. You bring the player in, the live board review.
Live on ABC.
You are not the father. You're Maury Povich. Dig him up. Have him host. You are not draft eligible. Done.
I think you just killed Maury.
Is Maury alive? I'd like to apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Maury's alive.
Okay, my bad.
He's still alive.
It was Jerry Springer that died.
Yes.
Oh, I got my cheesy daytime TV hosts confused.
He meant dig him up professionally, not out of the grave.
The guy needs a hit. Sorry. I wasn't far off, right? Both daytime TV hosts, both old as dirt.
But if you can't have the exception. Sorry.
Okay.
You got to ride it your 3 years out.